In this tutorial, I will show you how to create outlines with text in Illustrator. So first you're going to open up Illustrator. If you've forgotten how to do that, all programs, then Adobe Design and Web Premium, and then just the regular Illustrator. Make sure you have an idea of what you would like to do. The first thing that's easiest to do is to think about your logo and see what steps you might need to take to create that logo. Say for the IBM logo that there's an IBM logo that has the lines through the letters. Um, you would find a font that matches the IBM, and then all you would do is make those straight lines. Um, Put those lines over top of the IBM letters, and then the lines would be white. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today in this tutorial. So for the first thing is open up, or not open up a file, sorry, create a file. So you can go to File, New, or this is the keyboard shortcut, Control N, and then wait for that to pop up. For this, I'm just going to put creating outlines. You can name yours as whatever logo you wish to do. If I'm printing these, I would hit print. If I'm not printing them, I would just hit web. Then it goes down to pixels. Any size is fine because you're just starting to create a logo. It's not like you have specific dimensions like you're creating a web page or anything. So just hit OK. Okay, and then what I always do first is show my rulers so I know what size things are. And to do that is you can go to View and do Rulers and show rulers, or you can hit that Control R. So that's what I'm going to do, Control R, then they pop up. If you right click on the ruler, it'll show you, you can change it. I'm going to hit it to inches because I think in inches, I don't think in pixels. Okay, so our page is roughly about 13 inches by almost 8 inches. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is create a letter mark. So what you can do is find the text tool, the type tool, and then in Illustrator you don't have to create boxes, you can just click and start typing. Up here it shows your characters. So if you want to, you can go down to the list, but all this is the names. If you go to Type, Font, it'll show you examples of these names instead. So that way you can kind of see what they look like. So I'm going to choose one that looks like the IBM logo. Might take a while, but I'm going to choose one of these. You can scroll through by hitting the arrow key. I'm just going to go with this one. And sometimes these regular italic, if it has an arrow by it, that means that it has different styles of the font. And you just have to choose one of those. You can also change it up here. If I'm creating a letter mark for a logo, I usually go higher than 12-point font. I'd like to go like 48, and then I'll make it bigger. So let's do IBM. Okay, now you have your letters. Then once I hit from the type tool, you can change anything in your type tool. If you want to highlight it and then go to italics instead. And then if you hit Control Z, it'll go back. Then also you can change your colors. But if you change your colors, go to the selection tool. Then it creates a bounding box around your type. So then you can move it anywhere you want. Say I want it to be red. All I have to do is click my swatches. Say I wanted the outline to be black. Then I would click on the outline right here or the stroke and make it black. Okay. And then also to change your stroke, you can go to stroke in your stroke panel and then make your points higher. Obviously, making it higher than about 2 or 3 distorts the letters depending on the size. So I'm just going to say that I don't want a outline, which is this button right here. It says none. Okay. Then I'm going to click on my fill, so just in case I don't have to worry about changing anything. So from here, if you're making a logo, you really want to have your text outlined so it reads it as a shape or a graphic instead of text. So what you do is go to Type, Create Outlines, or as you can see, Shift Control O is your keyboard shortcut. So then what this does is I'm going to hold the Shift key. Always hold the Shift key when you're resizing, because then it'll keep it uniform. You never want to resize using this. It distorts the letters and it doesn't look as nice and clean. Shift, go from the corners. And then what this does is you can make them as big as you want, but you cannot change the type in any way. You can't change the font back. It's now a shape. But what you can do with this is if you go here, it's read as a group. To ungroup something, you can go to Object, Group, or Ungroup. So Shift Control G is your ungroup. I'm going to ungroup them. So what this does is when I click the letter M, I can move M wherever I want. So if you wanted to change the IBM logo, you can change it like that. If you want to rotate a letter, hover over the corner, then rotate it. If you want it in 45-degree increments, hold the Shift key and then rotate it. Okay. So that's how you can create outlines of your text. Another thing that I'd like to show you is the direct selection tool. What this does is it selects paths on different letters that you can change. So say I click that one, see how it's highlighted? I can move this one point to distort the letter however I want. Use this white arrow to change your different paths. What you can also do is select a whole line. So if I wanted to do that, all I have to do is click and scroll to that line. And I'm just going to do it again just to make sure it's going to hold that path. See how it's only moving that one letter. Okay. You can go back as best you can or hit Control Z until you're back to where you were. So outlining letters and using the direct selection tool is probably the best way to go in starting to create your logos.